He's on the noise.
John Bowers put the headlights on, which is an interesting move, really. You tend to do that when you're charging at someone. It tends to get your attention a little bit, and you sort of look and think, shit, he's coming at me. But I think Jonesy's been around a bit long to let... Oh, he's hit a bit of debris there on the track.
Well, you can see now Johnny Bowers starts to close the gap a little. This is going to get interesting. There's plenty of laps to go yet. Jonesy's driven the ring out of this thing to try and keep it in front. And he makes some ground up, but Johnny Bowers starts to close up under brakes. A little puff from AJ. He's certainly trying hard. So is Johnny Bowers. He knows he's got to keep him in sight. Jimmy Richards back in third. He's probably got half a car length on Dickie Johnson. That's opened up a little bit. That's Johnson and Richards in behind. Nothing from 1 through 4.
They're very close, and I think Bow, you know, catching Jonesy will be one thing, but getting by him will be something else. And they're both very, very hard drivers, and neither of them will give... Oh, John Bow had a bit of a brake lock up and ran a little bit wide there. So he's certainly trying very hard, and, you know, 10 laps, you can't afford any mistakes.
Falcon, Holden, Falcon, Holden. That's the way it's running at the moment. Mazzera keeping out Brock. Good battles down right throughout the field here. Big tussles up in front. Here come the two Holdens now. Mazzera's car blowing flame out everywhere. So is Brock, so is Seaton. There's Morris, there's Longhurst.
The Lansvale car, they're doing a great job. That's the first of the privateer teams coming through there.
Aren't they consistent? They really always give it a go.
And they're lovely guys, and they try very hard, and you know, they're not that far off the pace really when all those things are considered.
No one trying harder than Jonesy now. Scaife is behind Glenn Seaton now in 8th spot. What a drive from him. He has made up 10 spots in this field. Mark Scaife will try and get a shot of him a little later on, but right now we're looking at the front battle. This is Richards now. Richards comes past. He's dropping Dick a little.
Which is surprising, you know. Yes, Richo's just giving the brakes there a bit of a tap just to make sure it's a security touch, just to make sure you've got a pedal, because that is actually the fastest part of the circuit down into the chicane there.
Well, Dickie Johnson's losing touch a bit with Jimmy Richards now, Johnny Bow and AJ. What a battle up front. They're matching each other for ripple strips. And a big blue puff of smoke fills the air in front of the broadcast stand here. Not sure where that came from. Boy, oh boy, there's plenty of it around. Oh, and that's the reason why Kevin Waldock. Holy moly, that's a big one.
It certainly is. I can't quite work out exactly what's happened there. I don't know if he's gone into the wall or through a chicane, but he's certainly hit something very hard there.
Well, I'm not kidding. The puff of smoke, the blue smoke, look at that. That is a big, big wreck.
That's right in the middle of the straight. He must have got hooked up with somebody.
It's right underneath where we're broadcasting from. I just saw a big blue cloud of smoke and some concrete, dust and whatever, and that was the reason. Waldock straight in. Well, he's in a real serious part of the circuit here. In fact, I wondered why the crews in front of our box dropped back. No wonder they dropped back. Anyway, racing continues now. Alan Jones still in front. Not sure what they'll do about the Waldock wreck.
This gap is seesawing a little bit. You know, Jonesy will get away a little, and then John will pull him in, and then Jonesy will get away a bit more. It's quite an interesting battle.
AJ lifting wheels. He's hitting the curves. He's really ringing this car's neck. Wants a win. It'll be the first for the year for him. He did very well at Eastern Creek in one of the heats. We think the pace car is coming out. I can see it here in pit lane. Slow and hold. The yellow flag. That was a big accident from Waldock, and they'll be coming up past that very shortly. There's all the rubber. Have a look at the skid marks all over there. There's the wreck. They come around. Jonesy puts the hand up. They're not going to be able to get this off. It's going to have to finish under yellows, I would think.
Very dangerous spot. Fastest part of the circuit, and he's right in the middle of the race line.
Gee, there wouldn't be too many straight bits in that thing, I wouldn't think.
No, I just can't. Yeah, they're full course caution, so they'll have the pace car out there in a minute, and they will actually try and get it out. We're only halfway into this race, so if they and because these guys are used to this sort of thing, I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll take this opportunity to take a break, come back, stay with us, Australia. Plenty more to come from the Gold Coast. This is the second heat. They've got the wreck of Waldock away. They've done a magnificent job. The people here at the circuit, fantastic. Alan Jones really put the boot in it again and got to go. Now, have a look at Johnson, have a look at Richards, but look at Mark Scaife. He's the second of the Whitfield cars. He came from 18, sitting in behind Pete Brock. Look at the chain. They're all getting shoved.
plenty of muscle going on.
Well, yeah, Scapey, I think he's just spun Brock around, actually. Or Brock spun around. Scapey was touching the back of him when we last saw him, so that'll be another position he's moved up.
He was just pushing him.
He's certainly charging, and here's Dick having a go at Richo.
No, John Bow now. John Bow right in behind Alan Jones. The lead he worked so hard for has been whittled away now. We're all back to square one. Jones, he won't be too happy about that. He worked so hard to build the lead. Now it's back. But what about the race? Jimmy Richards, Dick Johnson, that's Mazira. Brock has been bumped back. Mark Scape in behind Mazira now. They had a bit of push and shove last time they met down in Melbourne in Sandown.
Yeah, they certainly did. And actually, Jonesy got a sensational start there, and JB's closed in a little bit on the first couple of corners. So he's, you know, they're pressing on, and Alan will just be trying to settle in the car, not look in the mirror, and try and get that gap out again and drive as hard as he can. He doesn't want to know about driving something there.
Jonesy, as he goes now down through the chicane, they all come through. Look at the attitudes of the cars. Johnny Bow been very good under brakes, but so is AJ. He has really thrown the big Falcon around.
You see how they're lifting wheels up here? Because this is such a slow cornered circuit, the power down, Darryl, is so important, so they run them very soft in the back with a lot of squat, so they don't get wheel spin when they're accelerating out of the corners.
That's exactly the setup for the Winfield cars. You notice it almost everywhere they race.
Oh, I don't know how they drive it. It's almost scraping the rear bumper on the ground, but Scapey does all that work, and he's very comfortable in the car and exceptionally fast.
Mark Scape will keep our eye on him. He's had a fantastic drive from 18th now to 7th. And through they come, 4 laps to go. Alan Jones wanted to win this one, the second heat in front of his Gold Coast Sunday crowd. Doing a pretty good job at really lifting the wheels down. Oh, he's got the skirts up and dancing. AJ. And another car, that's the Brock car. That's Brock's car. He got shunted from behind.
Well, maybe something broke on the side or the front of that. I'm not sure what's going on, but Scapey was into the back of him.
Peter wouldn't be too happy sitting inside the car, but that's the way they want it here. If you break down unless there's a fire, stay with the vehicle.
There doesn't look to be anything hanging off the car, Darryl. I wonder why he stopped there. Obviously, maybe a drivetrain problem or something.
Hasn't had too much luck mechanically in the last couple of years as Pete Brock. AJ now out in front of Johnny Bow. You see him come up the beachfront again. Get a glimpse of how close you are to the ocean here. Johnny Bow, Jimmy Richards in third place.